Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Peace. What's up, fam? This is your brother, Mr. Holipsism, coming at you once again with another BTR show. The topic of today's show is Conscious Community Super Seniors. Just because you've been in school the longest doesn't mean you're the smartest. Why have people who have been a part of the cultural conscious community so long they should be eligible for retirement and a pension still not figured out and embraced nationhood and real Black African power? Please call into the show so we can figure out how to get these people to their graduation ceremony. 1. Now, the reason why I came up with this show, on a personal level, I feel like the BAIO and all of its members, who've done shows and who are out there pushing the talking points of land, infrastructure, and nationhood, I believe, and, people can correct me if I'm wrong, with all of the events that's happening to our people, all the police brutality, all of the neglect, like in the Flint, Michigan situation, all of our suffering because we don't control the infrastructure that we live in. People want to push Black power, but they don't want to control, the context, the socioeconomic and political context that they exist in. They don't want to control the hard infrastructure. They don't want to control the soft infrastructure. In fact, they don't even know what infrastructure even is. And like I said, I compare it to a fish that's not familiar with water, because it's so used to just being around it and in it that it doesn't have any objectivity where you can look at it and say, oh, wow, check out this water. It's like you've been around it so much and in it so much that you just take it for granted. And the Flint, Michigan situation is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. It's like we've been talking about infrastructure and controlling the infrastructure and how vulnerable we are because we don't control it. And we've been getting argued at and resistant and hostility and all kinds of stuff against it. But then here comes Flint, Michigan, showing, underlining and bolding and period and exclamation pointing and putting everything else on what we've been talking about. So I feel at this point that this is like beating, what they say, a dead horse. It's like I think that we've totally and completely smashed anybody out here talking about building a nation inside of the United States of America. But apparently, we still haven't. Apparently, there's still people who are pushing this talking point. This, we can do it right here. We were here first. Our ancestors bled and shed blood, sweat, and tears for America, so this is ours, and all this other crazy shit that don't really mean anything but sounds really good. We still getting that. So as long as we still getting that, I'm going to keep clowning niggas. I'm sorry. That's just what I do. I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm going to just keep clowning you until you're afraid to start saying that shit anymore. And our people are getting real hip to it. You know what I'm saying? Our people are getting really hip to it. Our people are really dismissing you as a clown when you bring that stuff up. The people with intelligence, the people who are not super seniors. Now, what do I mean by conscious community super seniors? Well, what's a super senior? Somebody that's in high school where you're supposed to get out in 4 years, and they've been there for like 5 and 6, which is really remarkable considering that most of the time, as long as you just show up to the school, they're pushing you through. They'll push you through off of attendance, and you can graduate, just because you've been there. But when you can be in a 4-year school for 5 and 6 years, you are considered a super senior. And the same thing applies to the so-called conscious community, cultural conscious community. There's people that's been in this game for a while, and yet they still are pushing these old, antiquated talking points and these old, antiquated tactics. They're still marching. They're still protesting. They're still engaged in a war with the white man, which is why I played that Batman and Joker at the beginning of the show. As a matter of fact, in case anybody missed it, I want to play it again. Because I've always said that we are Batman and the white man is the Joker. And instead of us trying to gain power and actually do something about our situation, we feel more comfortable being engaged in a battle of wits and a back and forth with him. It's like that becomes our main concern, and everything else is just in the background. So check this out.
You just couldn't let me go, could you? This is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. You truly are incorruptible, aren't you? Huh? You won't kill me out of some misplaced sense of self-righteousness. And I won't kill you because you're just too much fun. I think you and I are destined to do this forever.
I think you and I are destined to do this forever. And I hope people really get that and where I'm going with that.